I don't actually know when I'm going to get to this, but I need to do a little taking apart and cleaning up. So here's the introduction of this C-125 wheel horse 8-speed that I picked up not that long ago, complete with a green spinner and air cleaner. For whatever reason, it might need a little bit of work, but I think it's got some potential. We've got a new steel fender coming. These plastic ones are very well known for shattering and becoming 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 piece rear fenders. So we're gonna pop that off. Okay, well, here we are with this C-125 with a 12 horsepower Kohler. And when I went to pick this thing up, the guy thought that I'd be able to drive it onto the truck, but we were having a lack of fuel issue. And when he busted out the starting fluid, I said, no, we'll push it. We don't want to wash out the cylinder with starting fluid. We want to use gasoline. So we have a fuel system to look into today. I think we will probably take the carburetor off, pull the bowl, pull the float, pull the main jet, and let everything soak in the Berryman carb dip. So we are going to get after this thing with a screwdriver and with a 1/2-inch wrench. Pop those screws loose. There. Get that one. Nice. We're gonna leave this choke cable intact if we can. If anything, we'll pop it loose here. We'll just go ahead and get a 7/16 and do that anyway. And we got a pair of pliers for the fuel line. We're gonna grab a hold of it and rotate it a little bit to help pop it loose. No problem. We're actually gonna get a 3/8 apparently, because I can't see what I'm doing, but that 7/16 is, holy cow. And we got an extension that will stay on our ratchet. What in the world is going on? Did I have a 1/2-inch socket? All right, I got a different 7/16 and they're loose. Feels weird, but a 10mm fits. That is definitely a 10mm head. All right, we got our choke loose, we got our fuel line off, we've got our screws loose. We only need to loosen one of these screws all the way, and the other one, as long as the carburetor can rotate, it can stay in place. Such a funky deal where these bolt heads are on the inside of the carburetor throat of the body. right. And this is a 9/16 bolt head here. Go ahead and grab that. And we will see how ugly it is in here. Honestly, it's really not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. Fairly clean. We just weren't getting fuel to the carb. That's all right. It looked pretty ugly right there. That's what I was looking at, was those threads, but not terrible. Since we've got this thing apart, we will pull the pin for the float. We will just let the pin fall out for the float. Someone's been in this. It's got a lot of clean parts on it. That's pretty cool. I like seeing that. It's really not gummed up looking at all. But we have it apart. We're gonna stick this all in the Berryman carb dip, and we will pull these high and low fuel circuit screws out as well. And we'll let that soak for, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes. Wonderful. I really doubt that float's gonna get down in there very well. I probably could have put it underneath the carburetor, but it's really not that dirty. So we'll just tap that on there. I don't think I'm gonna kick it over today. Next, we're going to inspect our fuel flow to the fuel pump. And by doing that, we're just going to see if the little pre-filter at the fuel tank is clogged. Oof, either way, that looks ugly. It's pretty nice to see it flowing fuel like that. So we wonder, is there a fuel pump issue? Or did we just not crank it long enough? I'm gonna let that drain out so we can get fresh fuel in. So we have the fuel line connected again. We have a battery on the charger, and we put a little fresh ethanol-free fuel in the tank. So let's see if we can get any fuel to come out of that pump. I don't believe I see any coming out. I don't really want to do it again, but I can show you that everything up here is wet. I ended up cranking it over and this fuel cap is broken, so I put this rubber nozzle right there. pressurized the tank, cranked over at the same time, and fuel started geysering. This is not a sponsorship, nor do I condone smoking, but this was a free tray, so I use it. I was able to get the fuel pump to actually move fuel now that it has fuel. And since this carburetor was so clean, I'm going to reassemble it. Give it a little baseline adjustment and see if we can make some noise today. Half, 1, half, 3/4. Half, 1, half, 3/4. Sometimes it takes. Good. So let's see here. Just to help prime everything, I'm going to use my rubber gloved hand and cover up that carburetor. It would help if I hook up the fuel line, that's for sure. But it was good to see fuel moving all by itself. Give that a whirl again. My hand's all wet. And I see a very bad leak. That's awesome. Maybe this is a spark related issue. We're going to clean up these points here with a dollar bill. See if we got some spark now. All kinds of hot spark. That's cool. I don't know if the timing is correct, but we'll start with that. The plug was dry, so I can choke it. Now we have to address that terrible fuel leak that is pouring the fuel. Okay, that's good. I'd say the transmission's pretty good. Engine runs great, good and strong.